Hey guys, this girl got game. Welcome back to Cinderella Phenomenon for the last time that we're playing through this game. And we have some very, very fitting music for the last bad ending we're going to do. And I don't know why I always blank this, but I just remembered that in every other bad ending we've got in this game, the main guy has died. I don't know if I'm emotionally prepared to deal with Waltz's death, but we're gonna find out in short order. Oh, okay, so we start here with our first choice. Last time we removed the sweet little boy's hand. This time we're gonna leave him alone. Waltz better finish his show before this child ruins my dress. Okay. Did anything else change? Clap, clap, clap. Darn it, I messed everything up. I wanted to know what it said before that. Okay. So he said the show was a success. Good grief. I suppose so. You looked really annoyed when that little boy grabbed your dress. That's because I was. You should have taken his hand. Why? He looked frightened. I'm sure he would have appreciated some comfort. What? Sometimes just having someone beside you when you're afraid is enough. Okay. I should skip some of the time and fast forward. The double clapping is too funny. Okay, this time I'm gonna admit to not being okay. I'm not okay. It's not like there's anything you can do to make me feel better. Waltz's expression slips. His chest heaves with a silent sigh. All I can do right now is try. Waltz's voice is a soft whisper, but I still pick up his words. All he can do right now? What is he talking about? Interesting. Okay. I might as well fast forward now. Nothing else changed. Bang! Do not check on Mr. Broom. It's probably just the broom cleaning again. Hey, stop that. That voice. The door opens abruptly and Waltz steps out from the tavern holding Mr. Broom. Aw. I will have to leave you here. Waltz? He looks up in surprise. Mr. Broom seizes the opportunity and quickly breaks away from Waltz's grasp. It hops past and cowers behind me as if I might be able to save it from something. What were you doing? I couldn't sleep, so I came here to work on my puppets. Then I accidentally stepped on the broom, and it, well, scampered off. I turned to take Mr. Broom and walk past Waltz into the tavern. Excuse me. I lean Mr. Broom against the wall in its designated spot before turning to Waltz, who has followed me into the tavern. Okay, that should be the same. Playing hide and seek. We picked a good spot last time. I feel like Lucette, being Lucette, would hide behind the tree. It's like the most obvious, and she wouldn't want to ruin her dress. Ready or not, here I come. Walt scratches his head as he walks in my direction. You could have made more of an effort to actually hide, Princess. What? I can see you from here. Found you first. Let's go find the others. Darn. I trail along behind Waltz as he methodically checks all the possible hiding places. It isn't long before he finds the rest of the children. You guys have improved. Yeah, but you still found us. No need to look like that. You guys are getting better with your hiding spots. In fact, I think this lady here could learn from you. Hey! So mean. Thanks for putting the effort to hide. You just said I put in no effort, Waltz. Insulted. Anyway, thanks for putting in the effort to hide.
I think you deserve a treat.
A tweet? For sucking at hide and seek? Wow. Where am I going? There's no time to explain. I cannot help but feel annoyed at Waltz's insistent questioning. Explaining it to him would only slow me down.
What? Wait.
He is not here.
Princess, you're going around in circles. Who exactly are you looking for? I can help you if you tell me.
I do not even know if Waltz will remember the man. It is highly likely he won't be any help at all.
Lucette?
But I will not achieve anything trying to do this on my own. There was a man at the toy shop staring at a large teddy bear. He is the one we're looking for.
Right.
Oh no. See, you say there's no time to explain, then you have to take time to explain. It's just how it goes. Oh, I'm not going to play along be your fairy godmother. That makes me sad. I am not a fairy godmother. The girl's face falls and Waltz frowns at me. Should I not have told her the truth? But I am here to fulfill your wish. My wish? Yes. I hold out the gift. This is for you. Okay, this is gonna stop at some point soon. Really? I would have thought Waltz was gonna... I'll just let it skip. I thought Waltz... Maybe Waltz just doesn't thank us for going along with his plan. Okay, we have to go back now. I frown as I study Waltz's wound. We have to go back to the Marchen now. You need to have your wounds checked.
This is nothing. I'm just glad you're not hurt.
Stop worrying about me. You're the one in need of medical attention. I cannot keep the edge from my voice when I speak. Waltz's expression falls.
I'm sorry, Princess. I didn't mean to...
I know, Boo. In another timeline, I knew. Hold back the tear. Ooh, we won't cry over him. I reach up to rub them away as best I can. Why am I crying?
Are you... crying?
When did he wake up? I am not. Oh, I've never seen Waltz look so mad at me before.
Liar.
Waltz's voice is weak and his words are slurred. He is clearly still under the influence of the medication he has been given. I changed the topic. How are you feeling?
I'll live.
Waltz smiles at me weakly, but the sight only makes me more agitated until the words fall out of my mouth. How could you place my life over your own? You should have just stayed here instead of going with Delora. Waltz's expression darkens.
I can't just sit here and do nothing when you are in danger.
Oh, yeah, I know. We're actually being very terrible to him. I'm not listening to Waltz this time. No, I cannot let him sacrifice himself again for my sake. Before Waltz can react, I slide out of my hiding place and stand in front of the king. The king's eyes widen as he looks at me. Oh, okay, so we skipped some things.
You have someone else here with you, don't you?
My mind races as I try to think of what to do next, but Waltz suddenly steps out from behind the curtain and bows.
It's been a while, Your Majesty. Waltz?
I remember then that Waltz had worked for others, so naturally the king would know who he was. I'm also sad now, because I don't think there's... No matter what choices I make, I don't think our dear father's gonna live through this.
You haven't changed at all. That is unfortunately the case.
The king's expression twists, sadness appearing in his eyes.
I'm sorry, Waltz. What happened to you is... There's no need to apologize, Your Majesty. I did the things I did in the past, knowing the possible consequences.
What are they talking about? They were a lot more guarded this time because I was already out in the open, unfortunately. I think I stayed with you last time. Yes, I did. Okay, I'm gonna listen to you. I'm gonna listen to you this time. I nodded him. Waltz extends his hand and snaps his fingers. Hundreds of flower petals suddenly appear in midair. It is like being in the middle of a storm of flowers. Varg looks startled. He squints through the flowers.
You think this little parlor trick is going to save anyone?
Go. Let's go. I grab the king's hand and pull him with me toward the door.
Not so fast.
Varg strikes his cane against the floor once more, conjuring a strong wind that blows all the petals away and clears the room. Where did the petals go?
You know that I'm not letting you get away this time, Princess.
The king draws his sword and motions for us to stand behind him. Okay. So it's just more of a futile effort this time around. Okay, and now we got Waltz the Big is back. So we'll ask him to use his magic and make himself tired. Waltz is here. I'm sure he can handle them with his magic. I whisper my request to Waltz. He turns to me, his expression uncertain. He eyes the king and Sir Alcaster, then slowly nods.
I think we've heard enough, Alcaster. Now, if you don't mind, we'll be showing ourselves out.
What spell are you going to use this time? Waltz gestures his hand through the air. There are sparks, followed by a large explosion that makes almost everyone in the room stumble back. The room is suddenly filled with smoke, making it impossible to see.
This way.
Waltz grabs my hand and pulls me away. But the king...
Don't worry. He'll find his way in this distraction.
Oh? Are you certain of that, Waltz? Waltz collapses to the floor. I can see beads of sweat rolling down the edges of his face. Waltz!
Don't worry. I'm just tired. I haven't used my magic in a long time, and it's just taking more of a toll on me than usual.
Yep. Walt stops pacing, his face grim.
Had I not exhausted my magic earlier, I might have been able to open a portal that could transport us back to the Marchen. Right now, I am too weak.
Really? So how is this going to work out, then? I deflate at Waltz's words. The footsteps become more pronounced as the knights approach. They will be here soon. I take the vial out of my pocket and hand it to Waltz. Ooh, very fancy. Parfait gave that to me before she left. She told me to use it in case I ever needed to escape trouble. Waltz inspects the vial in his hand.
This will work like smoke. It's useful for distracting enemies, but I don't think it will help us much now. Then I will surrender myself to them. With all their attention on me, you can safely escape.
But Gennaro...
Alcaster will not risk killing me. Even if he intends to rule with fear, the people will not let him get away with murder. The last thing Alcaster needs is rebellion.
But...
Please. I know what I'm doing.
He smiles at us wanly. His eyes are silently pleading. Walt shakes his head and sighs.
I promise. We will come back for you, Your Majesty. Thank you. Please protect my family.
The king looks first at Ophelia and her children, and then, much to my surprise, he looks at me. His smile never fades as we make our way out of the throne room. We stay on guard as we leave the room. Somewhere in the distance, I hear someone shouting that they know where the king is. It is not long before we hear the sound of numerous footsteps coming in our direction from the opposite end of the hallway. Waltz motions with his hand, and the rest of us follow him to the shadowed walls, where we remain pressed against them as the knights pass through the opposite hallway. There is a disgruntled shout somewhere in the distance saying that they have found the king. A startlingly loud sound echoes somewhere close by. Emmeline squeaks in surprise and quickly brings her hand to her mouth in alarm. Who's there? Oh no. The knight cautiously approaches the shadowed hall, his sword drawn. This is not good. I'm already beginning to step away when a sharp sound breaks the silence. Someone snaps and the knight falls limply on the floor. Waltz? What happened to him? I turn to Waltz, who still has his fingers pressed together.
I used a sleeping spell on him, Your Majesty. But he'll be up again in a few minutes, so we must hurry to the tunnels.
Yeah, Waltz, you don't look so good. I notice a bead of sweat roll down the side of Waltz's face. Waltz, you are...
I'm fine, Princess. Let's go.
We make our way back to the secret passage that led us here in the first place. My thoughts shift to the king. I am really worried about him.
Waltz, are you all right?
I am jolted out of my thoughts by Rod's voice. He is speaking to Waltz, who is now kneeling on the ground, breathing heavily. I quickly walk to his side and inspect his face. He looks worse than he was before.
Sorry. I don't mean to hold us up, but I think I'm just about at my limit here.
Princess! Where did you guys get off to? Footsteps sound in the tunnel, and then I see Jurian and Garland rushing toward us. Relief washes over me. Jurian! Garland!
My apologies, Your Highness. We had to retreat after the knights surrounded us. We had to make sure we were not captured so we could come back and rescue you.
Jurian looks down and clenches her fists.
It appears Alcaster has finally put his plans into motion.
We had no way of contacting Lady Parfait and Delora, and considering how things were when we left, we had to go back again in hopes that we could still get you out of the palace.
Where's the king?
It is a long story, but right now you need to take the royal family back to the Marchen.
What are you talking about? What do you plan to do?
I need to go back for the king. The thought has been gnawing at me ever since we left him there in that room. He is the king, but I am still the kingdom's crown princess, even if they do not remember me.
You can't do that, Lucette. The king made this sacrifice so that we could escape.
I need to be with him. Waltz tries to stand, but he ends up collapsing to the ground again. Garland circles from the side to pull him slowly to his feet. At first I didn't recognize you, but now I see that you've broken your curse, Waltz. Waltz ignores Garland and continues to glare at me. There is something far away in his eyes, and I can tell that he is beginning to fade.
Don't do anything stupid. A little star.
How can you do something stupid after he said that, Lucette? Those are his last words before he falls unconscious. I'm sorry, Waltz. I look at Garland and Jurian. Please, take them back to the Marchen. Tell Parfait and Delora what happened here as soon as they return.
But Princess!
I need to know what is happening. Sir Mithras needs me alive, and I have no idea why. And the king... I must make sure the king is safe. I run back through the tunnel and toward the door before they can stop me. I make my way back to the throne room, but several knights have already spotted me before I can reach it. Halt! This girl was with the king earlier. We have strict orders to bring the rest of the king's companions back to the throne room. Come quietly, girl. If you don't want to get hurt, that is. I have no choice. I nod sullenly and allow them to usher me back to the throne room where the king is. Wow, that scene played out heck of a different. Right, I said something last time. I'm gonna stay silent. I do not even know what to say.
I am sorry.
I'm surprised when the king suddenly speaks. For what?
I am not sure. I have this feeling that I've done something to hurt you. Have I?
It was what you did not do that hurt me.
I was a bad father, wasn't I?
So he started with the apology. I recall when he apologized to Waltz for something that had transpired in the past. Okay. That was the only different line. I declined last time, I believe. Yes, I did. I'm gonna agree. I may not have a good relationship with the king, but I cannot forsake his life. Defeated, I nod at Sir Mithras. I will help you.
Mithros.
A wise decision, Princess.
Lucette, don't... Ugh!
The king suddenly cries out in pain as Varg plunges his sword into his arm. Ow! Ow! Varg! Bad dog. The king's sleeve is slowly dyed maroon with his blood.
I would stop talking if I were you, your majesty.
Stop! I cringe at the sight of the king's blood. You said you wouldn't hurt him. A small wound won't kill him, your highness. He is still alive, after all. Varg, kindly escort our lovely guest to a comfortable prison cell. Well, barf. The king collapses to the ground with his back to one of the walls. I quickly run to his side so that I can inspect his wound. Does he have anything I can use to tend to this wound? I notice something in one of his pockets and quickly lean forward to pull it out. A handkerchief. It is small, but it will have to do. I take the king's handkerchief and wrap it around his wounded arm. I forgot that we didn't hold the blade to our knife this time. I'm sorry. Your injury is my fault. It's all my fault. Oh. That was like a squishy sound. What took you so long?
Breaking in here wasn't exactly an easy task, little star.
I manage a weak smile. What matters now is that you are here. How did you get in here? Blah. Yeah, father still died. What are you talking about? I'm the same as I've always been.
You know exactly what I mean.
I'm tired, Waltz.
You're avoiding the subject again.
Because there is nothing for me to say. I still get kissed, though. I will have to rely on all of you, I think. Yes. This was the one that was, like... They're basically the same, but one sounds a little worse. Because It is not like me to admit to weakness, but I cannot keep pretending that I can do all of this on my own. I am not certain how much I will be able to do on my own.
You underestimate yourself too much, Lucette. Have some confidence.
It will be hard to have this confidence. If we're heading towards a bad end. I think I need to use a deflector because now it's bad magic and I'm doing bad end. Yes, deflector. But what if that logic only applies to offensive spells?
Lucette.
A shield that can deflect?
Is that your final answer?
I think so. Walt shakes his head.
I am casting a powerful spell right now, Lucette. Haven't you noticed that it's taking me longer to cast?
I knew it. Why did I think too hard on this?
Now prepare your shield.
What? This is the first time I am shielding myself against a powerful attack. What if my barrier breaks? Trust? I've been zapped by a kiss on my forehead. Instead of kissing me on the lips. How sad. Not as nice of a treat. This time I'll remain silent, because maybe he's busy. No, I do not want to disturb him. I continue to watch him in silence. After a few moments, he hesitantly breaks the silence.
I hope that the children are looking forward to the new stories I have to tell them.
I am sure that they are.
Who knows? Maybe after this is all over, I'll finally let you be my assistant.
I do think I deserve to join you on stage, Mr. Magician.
We'll see.
That was kind of a cute thing for being the wrong choice. I understand, Jurian. Your safety is our #1 priority, after all.
He's right. Your life is the most valuable.
Remember, Princess, Your life doesn't belong to you anymore. This kingdom's future is in your hands. Spoken like a true prince. I look away. I know that. Oh, such face. Okay, so instead of sharing the burden, how about triple dot? I don't know which one of these, but I'm gonna try triple dots.
You don't want my help.
I nod. I've already caused you enough trouble, Waltz.
I have never considered you a burden, Lucette.
Well, that's nice of you to say, but if you knew which ending we were going to, you probably would. Attack. I think this is the last thing I have. I act on impulse. I know that the spell I have been taught will not even graze her, but I do not consider the consequences as I raise my hand to cast the spell. Power slowly begins to trickle through my veins and into my palms as I approach the platform. Let him go.
Lucette, don't.
My heart is in my throat as I draw closer to where they are. Let him go. I mean it. Crap, I don't know where this is. At least I think I can. I guess I think I can save everybody. Father, I'm sorry I cannot be the queen you wanted me to be. Waltz's life hangs in the balance. I must save him. I'm sorry for being selfish. I'm a little worried. Chapter 10. Peter Pan and the Lost Girl. I am a lost girl from Neverland. I'm about to kill Peter Pan. The first thing I see is Mother sitting upon Father's throne. Hello, dearest one. Mother. Somehow she looks even worse than earlier. My gaze is drawn to where Waltz is sitting at Mother's feet. His eyes widen when he notices me. A bright light surrounds his body like a rope, keeping him in place. Waltz! It looks as if he is trying to say something, but his mouth does not budge. It is as if his lips are sewn shut. What have you done to him? Don't worry, Lucette. He is unharmed, but with these bindings, his magic is restricted. I just didn't want him to ruin our mother-daughter bonding time, so I sealed his lips. Mother draws her hand through Waltz's hair in a way that reminds me of a mother coddling her child. I clench my fists. Let him go. Mother's eyes flash. She could hurt him so easily if I anger her. I am here now, so let him go. I think I shall keep him where he is until your side of the agreement is completed, dearest one. I can only manage to glare at her. Oh, my darling, don't look at me like that. Don't you want things to be how they were? We were so happy when we were together. I shake my head at her. That wasn't happiness. You kept me from happiness. And when I finally did find happiness, you took it away. Having friends, being loved by Father. I could have had all of those things if it weren't for you. And even now, you would take Waltz from me. Mother rests her chin on the palm of her hand, expression cold as ice. This boy makes you happier than I do. You would choose him over me? I am not looking at Mother when I answer. Instead, I direct my attention to Waltz, who is shaking his head at me. Don't do it. My only apology to him is a silent frown. Yes. I meet Mother's gaze at last. Tell me what I must do to save him. The silence in the throne room is deafening, but I am resolute. No matter what happens, Waltz must live. Mother raises her hands to her chest, and moments later a silver crystal begins to form, floating above the palms of her hands. The crystal's light is dim, its surface clouded, but I know exactly what it is. The Crystallum Tenebrarum. It looks so much smaller than it was before. Mother walks toward me, a gentle smile on her face.
Come, darling. Raise your hands to the Tenebrarum.
I falter for an instant. If you take my powers from me, will I die?
I will be very careful, Lucette. Since you are offering your powers willingly, no harm shall come to you.
Mother's smile is so sweet, her voice so reassuring. Maybe I'll die for a change. How are you speaking with your lips being sealed?
Don't do this, Lucette.
Waltz, your voice.
If she takes away all your powers, you'll be nothing but an empty shell.
Mother slaps Waltz before he can say anything else. He falls to his side, his body still incapable of movement. Waltz!
While I am impressed that you managed to break that spell, I am confident that you will not be able to break your bindings. My patience is running out, Lucette. If you don't give me what I want, then I will have to force it from you.
I see Mother flick her hand to cast a spell. I'm about to move, but I am too late. Her spell collides with my body. I expect to feel pain, but I'm surprised by the sudden lightness that overtakes me. Soon my eyes grow heavy and my knees buckle, causing me to fall to the floor. I feel as light as air.
Lucette!
I continue to lay there on the floor, unmoving as Mother strides toward me.
Don't worry, little one. Your nightmares will soon be over.
Her face is the last thing I see before I am consumed by an endless darkness. What?
Have you done as I commanded?
Yes. What? What? What the hecky hey? She's in the throne.
I can't hear you, Waltz.
Yes, my queen.
This pettiness is unlike you, Waltz. I expected more. If you do not like working for me, you can simply say no. I would not force you to continue here against your will. You have served me well these past few months, after all.
You know full well while I'm still here.
You are still so enraptured with my daughter. But I do not blame you. I think she is lovelier now than she has ever been before. She does not talk back, she does not rebel, and she does everything I tell her to. She is far more obedient this way. I prefer it. Don't you agree, Lucette?
Yes.
You made her like this. Of course you would think so. Oh, but she isn't dead. Isn't that why you continue to stay here? Out of some desperate hope that you will be able to break her out of this spell? Return her to the way she was? How foolish. I must assure you that there is no way to reverse this spell. If Lucette had been a good girl and done as she was told in the first place, she would not have to be like this. Indeed, because you interrupted the initial process, there was no way for me to be restored to power without taking Lucette's spirit. In a way, you made her into this, Waltz. She sacrificed herself for you. You have no one to blame but yourself. Stop it. You didn't have to do this. You didn't have to hurt her. Don't you love her? Deeply. As truly as any mother should love her daughter. It's a shame you cannot recognize that, Waltz. I have only acted for the benefit of all the witches. One day you will accept that. I know Lucette already has. Am I right, Lucette?
Yes, Mother. The end! Bad end! What? Oh, it's a hook. I'm like, is that a cat's tail? I'm confused. Well, Waltz didn't die, but we became a vegetable. Never ever after and Stolen Dawn achievements unlocked. Well, that was very disturbing. But, Waltz, you were special enough that you didn't actually get killed, so congratulations on that one. I basically was in a coma, and I was just... that was it. Whew. Man, that was pretty terrible. There was no hope. No hope to be found after that, I guess. Anyway, we are done for good now, guys. At least until the fan disc comes out. But whenever that does come out, we'll come back and revisit these characters, absolutely, because I need more of this. It was just absolutely a wonderful game. Even the bad endings, which were really bad and sad and ugh, my heart. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this game as much as I did. But now that we are done this and Never Forget Me, that means we have to move on to 2 new games. I'll give you a hint as to what they are. One has an animal in its name, but is not about animals, actually. And the other one does not have an animal in its name, but it's all about birds. That one's probably more obvious than the first one. But I think this is my 900th video, or the next one will be. So it's time for an update, and in that update video, I will clearly spell out what those games are. But feel free to take a guess in the meantime, guys. Thanks again for watching, and until the next video, I'll see you later.